Saving money can feel like safety until it starts stealing your life. Meals get smaller. Small joys disappear, and even then, one bad day can still take everything away. Have you ever watched yourself say no to simple comforts, not because you wanted to, but because fear kept whispering, hold it back, keep it, don't spend it? Some people say, never save money. Not because saving is wrong, but because saving without a purpose turns into fear. Money should help you live, not make you afraid to touch it. Saving matters, but it has to lead to something real. In a coastal town where electricity went off again and again, there lived a man named Adrian. He worked nights as a security guard at a supply warehouse far from the busy streets. Adrian was a simple, quiet man. He did his job honestly. He never caused trouble. When he came home in the morning, his body was tired and his eyes were heavy. At night, instead of sleeping, he often lay awake, thinking about bills, blackouts, and the future. Life was not easy in that town. When the power went out, food spoiled quickly, phones died, candles cost money, and even simple things became hard. One evening, the power went off while Adrian was eating dinner with his wife, Nora, and their young son, Kai. Kai was showing his schoolwork, proud and excited. Then the room suddenly became dark. Nora lit a candle. Not angry, just tired. Kai looked at the weak light and asked how he could study like this. That moment stayed in Adrian's heart. That night, Adrian decided to save money to build a safer way to live through blackouts. He didn't dream about luxury, he dreamed about light, about charging a phone, about not feeling helpless. He found a small metal tin and wrote a label for it, Light Fund. He placed it in the kitchen cupboard behind plates and dry rice. Every week, he carefully put money inside. To save more, he stopped buying small things that brought comfort. He stopped drinking hot tea. He stopped buying fruit. And he did not buy new shoes, even when his old ones were breaking. Each time he felt pain, he told himself it was for the future. At first, the tin felt good. It felt solid. It felt real. And Adrian believed he was becoming safe. But life did not stop. One night, the whole town lost power. Not a short flicker, a deep blackout. Nora lit a candle again and set it on the table. Adrian went to the sink for water, and in that small moment, the candle tipped. A quick fall, a hard hit. Wax spilled. Flame jumped. Smoke rose fast. Not a big fire, but enough to scare them, enough to stain the wall. Enough to make Adrian smell something worse than smoke. Burnt plastic. When the smoke finally thinned, the room still smelled like soot. The sheets smelled like it. The curtains smelled like it. They had to wash what could be washed and throw away what could not. The next day, a neighbor electrician came to look. He opened the wall panel. He frowned. Some wires were damaged. The old system was tired, and the blackout had made it worse. Then he named the cost. Cleaning, paint, wiring. Real money. Right now. Adrian opened the kitchen cupboard. He took out the tin. His hands shook as he counted. In minutes, the light fund became thin. Not for a dream, not for the plan, for survival. The repair was done. The danger passed. But Adrian felt afraid, not relieved, because he understood something he could not unlearn. Hiding money was not the same as building safety. Soon after, rent increased a little, just enough to hurt. Then at work, Adrian was told his shoes were unsafe, and he must buy new ones. He opened the tin again, and again it emptied. Adrian worked more hours, slept less, and became quieter and more tired. He started forgetting things, speaking less at home, and feeling angry inside without knowing why. He heard people say that saving money makes you safe, but his own life showed something different. The more he saved, the more scared he felt of losing it. One dark night, when the whole street went black again, Adrian stepped outside and saw something bright across the road. Not candlelight, real light. It was coming from a small workshop downstairs in the building next to his. The owner was Mr. Dalen, a repairman who fixed phones and radios. His door was open. A soft lamp glowed inside, and people were lined up, phones in their hands, power banks, flashlights, a quiet line of tired faces waiting for charge. Adrian walked closer and asked how he still had power. Mr. Dalen showed him a simple setup, an inverter, a battery pack, safe wiring. He said when the grid was on, he charged everything. When the grid died, he kept one corner running, a small charging corner. People paid a little, not much, but enough to keep the system alive, enough to keep him steady. Hearing this, something changed inside Adrian's mind. For the first time, he saw the difference. Money hidden in a tin stayed silent, but money used wisely could work and return. Adrian went home thinking deeply, holding the tin in his hands, feeling that maybe the problem was not only how little he earned, but how he used what he had. Adrian sat at the kitchen table late that night while the rest of the house slept. He did not light a candle. He didn't want candles anymore. He looked at the tin. He looked at the label. Light Fund. And for the first time, he didn't feel proud. He felt trapped because he understood something clearly. He had been saving like a man hiding, not like a man building. He opened the tin and counted the notes again. And the numbers gave him no comfort, only a tight weight in his chest, because he knew how quickly they could disappear, and how easily fear had taught him to protect money instead of protecting life. When Nora woke and found him there, she asked quietly if he was still saving. Adrian shook his head, not with confidence, with honesty. He told her the truth. He did not want to save just to feel safe anymore. He wanted a plan that could actually help them live through each day. Nora looked worried because worry had lived with them too long. But she listened without interrupting, and that listening alone felt like relief. The next morning, with hesitant hands and a racing heart, Adrian used part of the money to buy safe LED lamps and a few power banks. No candles, no smoke, no guessing. He met Mr. Dalen again and asked if he could set up a small spot beside the workshop. A simple charging table, a clear price, a clear rule. One outlet for phones, one for power banks. First come, first served. Adrian offered to watch the workshop at night and help close up in exchange for using the space. Mr. Dalen agreed, and though it was small, it felt like movement for the first time in a long while. That week, during the next blackout, Adrian set up the table, a lamp above it, a notebook beside it. He wrote names, times, payments. Some people walked past, some doubted him, but others stopped. Tired of darkness, tired of dead phones, tired of feeling stuck. That first night he earned only a little, but it felt different from money sitting in a tin, because this money came back with purpose instead of fear. He showed Nora the notebook, every number, every expense, every small gain. And for the first time, money was not a secret between them. Week by week, Adrian made the system better. He added one more lamp, he added one more power bank. He bought extra LED bulbs and sold them at a small margin to neighbors who wanted safer light at home. Kai began helping too, writing names carefully, keeping the notebook clean, proud to feel useful, proud to feel included. Their home changed in quiet ways, not perfect, but calmer. Meals were easier, voices were softer, and the fear in the house grew smaller. One stormy evening, the inverter failed. The old fear returned like a shadow. But this time, Adrian did not freeze. He used earned money to repair it. He set a simple rule for himself: fix first, then rebuild, and he kept going. Months later, Adrian came home one night, opened the kitchen cupboard, and looked at the tin again. He peeled off the old label, Light Fund. He threw it away. Then he wrote a new word on a fresh label, Plan. Inside, he separated the money into 3 simple categories: light, repairs, food. Not because he stopped saving, because he finally understood what saving was supposed to be. Saving was not hiding, saving was building. And in that town of blackouts and long nights, Adrian learned the truth. Money is not meant to be hidden from life. It is meant to be guided carefully through it. Because life does not wait for perfect plans or full tins. It grows through small, brave steps, taken even when darkness is still close. If this lesson hit home, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more stories about real life, smart choices, and self-respect.